Good evening, everyone. Isn't today a great day? It feels like fall finally. We all love the change of seasons around here, and it's really nice to have a little bit of cool weather for a change. I'm Jack Easton. I'm the Rivers and Lands Conservancy Executive Director, and I want to welcome you all to our 7th annual gala and our first ever virtual gala. We're really looking forward to the program tonight, and we really appreciate everyone being here, and we very much appreciate all of your support. And the program tonight is going to be a combination of some live, short live presentations and video presentations. So there'll be a little bit of variety here. And whether you purchased a dinner box tonight or you gathered your own ingredients, the menu, the recipes are on our website at www.riversandlands.org/gala menu. So please log on there and you'll find the recipes and also see some great videos by our staff in demonstrating how to prepare those recipes. So with that, I'd like to move on and thank some of our partners here tonight. We had several partners who helped us organize this event. The Riverside Food Co-op provided the boxes that that some of you have tonight, provided the food and the recipes, and they're a great organization based here in Riverside. And you know, I think these boxes are, well, appetizing. Actually, they look great. And so I'd like to introduce a video from Sue with the Riverside Food Co-op to talk about their organization and their goals.
Hi, I would like to invite you to join the Riverside Food Co-op. We are a member-owned cooperative business gathering enough members so that we can start a member-owned grocery store here in Riverside. A member-owned business supports its local economy. For $100 for your lifetime, you can help us get to our goal and get a wonderful place for you to shop. Currently, we offer a box of produce once a month that's optional. Your first one is free with a new membership. www.riversidefoodcoop.com.
And what would a great meal be without something great to drink? And some of you got in your boxes beer from Wick's Brewery. And those of you who didn't should all be sure and visit Wick's and sample some of their beers. They're located right here in Riverside. They've been a great sponsor for Rivers and Lands Conservancy for several of our galas. And here's a short video from Ryan Wicks about Wick's Brewing.
Hey everybody, this is Ryan Wicks with Wick's Brewing here in Riverside, California. Super excited to be sharing a couple of my favorite beers with you this evening. The first of which is Siesta Lima, a lime version of Siesta Cerveza, our year-round Mexican lager. Really light, super easy drinking, Mexican style lager with a nice hint of lime. We actually use about 40 pounds of limes in the brewing of that beer. So it gives it a nice little bit of acidity, real similar to your favorite Mexican lager with a squeeze of lime in there. The second beer that you're going to be enjoying is Best Coast IPA, which is our West Coast IPA. That is brewed with Citra, Mosaic, and Centennial hops, which throw off some flavors of tropical fruit, a lot of citrus, and then just a little bit of kind of pine on the finish. So it's real crisp, real light, real easy drinking, not as bitter as a lot of your IPAs that are out there. So a lot more easy drinking and will pair really nicely with those tacos that you guys are having. A little history of us here at Wick's Brewing. We opened in 2013 in our beautiful location here off of Sterling Avenue. We are not only a production brewery, we are also a restaurant. So we do offer food here as well. We are producing a little over 1,000 barrels annually, which comes out to, let's see, about 2,000 kegs of beer that we produce every year. We just finished up an expansion project, so we'll be producing about another 30% on top of that going into 2021. So we would have had our 7-year anniversary this April had it not been due to some factors outside of our control. We have been very active in the community through different charity work, not just with the Rivers and Lands Conservancy, but also with the City of Riverside, the Riverside Fire Department, Police Department, Riverside County Sheriff, and a number of other charitable organizations here in the Inland Empire. In a normal month, we would be doing anywhere from 2 to 6 different fundraising activities, both here at the brewery and at outside venues. And we're really excited to be a part of the Riverside community. I've been here my entire life. I was born in Riverside, went to school here, went to UC Riverside. So I'm a alumni of Riverside in every way you could think of. And I'm excited to call this place my home.
And not everyone's having beer with their meal, although when I heard Ryan describe those beers, it makes me think maybe I should have. Those sound really good. But some of you are also having wine, and our wine sponsor tonight is the Vulcan Materials Company. And Vulcan's not only a sponsor this evening, but they're also a conservation partner. Rivers and Lands Conservancy and Vulcan Materials Company are working together to conserve sand dune habitat in Colton and to protect the Delhi Sands flower-loving fly. I just want to say thank you, Vulcan Materials Company, for all that you do. And now I'd like to introduce our board president, Michelle McKinney. Michelle's been on the Rivers and Lands Conservancy board for almost 6 years. She's in her 3rd year as board president, and she's going to speak to you a little bit about our sponsors and maybe some other things.
Good evening, and thank you, Jack. I'm coming to you live from the state of Washington by way of Cienega Canyon behind me. So wanted to say greetings and thank you all for joining us this evening. We're looking forward to this unique way of getting together for our 7th annual gala. It's my honor right now, though, to thank our sponsors for this evening's gala. We just could not do these types of events without the support, and it's very important that we give them some recognition. It'll be hard for everybody to clap for them to hear because it's just not how it's going to work this evening, but we can do some snaps. We can send out some good vibes. But let me take a moment here to go through our list of sponsors that have joined us this evening, and we so much appreciate them for what they do for the organization. At the steward level, we have R&V Management. Thank you to R&V Management very much. At our protector level, Eastern Municipal Water District, Lewis Management Corporation, Riverside County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Karen Spiegel, and rounding out the protector level is Inland Empire Resource Conservation District, one of our longtime partners. At the benefactor level, we've got a variety of businesses and individual supporters. Greatly appreciate you all so much. Dwight Tate, WRA Inc., Mike Linton, Wildlands, Integrated Resource Management, Inc., Land Veritas, Gresham, Savage, Nolan, and Tilden, attorneys at law. Thank you all so much to them. And rounding out our sponsors are our partners, SoCal Gas and Riverside County Regional Park and Open Space District. Again, we could not do the things we do without our partners and our sponsors. So a round of applause. Everybody, I can hear you. I know you're all clapping. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to segue right now to a few segments of video. So as Jack mentioned, we tonight are live from different places, and we also have some wonderful videos. And I believe that you'll really enjoy these segments of videos. You'll see a variety of things. It starts out with me. So myself and my fellow board members took some time to express to you why it's important to each of us to be a part of this organization, to give of our time, to give of our hearts, to give of our minds. And you'll see those videos. You will also see a video from Jack. And we also have a video about the sort of state of the Conservancy. So sit back and relax, grab some of the beverages or food that Jack has told you about and our sponsors have talked a little bit about. You'll have about, I don't know, roughly 10 minutes or so, and you can sit and enjoy. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll be back live after this. Hey, thanks for joining us for our Rivers and Lands Conservancy Gala, virtual online this year.
We really appreciate you taking the time and investment of your time and support of our organization. You know, we were formed over 30 years ago to protect natural, wild, and open spaces here in Southern California. And that's what we do. And we have a robust staff. We've got an engaged board. And tonight we want to talk to you a little bit about what we've been doing this year. You'll have a video from Jack. Hear him give you some of the highlights of our accomplishments and our challenges and different things we've done this year as an organization. And then you'll also hear from each of my fellow board members about why they are on the board and why they invest their time in the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. And I'm going to share with you my reasons as well. I'm a big lover of nature, and my wife and I and my family, my daughter, we like to go on hikes and adventures and explore places that are natural, wild, and open spaces. And the way to do that is to invest time in making sure and assuring that these places stay protected. So thank you for this evening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us in our annual celebration. And in my comments tonight, here and in another segment, I want to share with you some quotes from different people that really tied well in with my desire to be on the board and to help guide the vision of the organization along with my fellow board members. I'm going to start with Pythagoras, who said, "Leave the road, take the trails." So in doing some research and helping to explain why it's important to me to be involved in the Rivers and Lands Conservancy, I looked up some famous quotes from people that you will recognize as I go through them. And these three quotes seem to really speak to why I am committed to this organization. First is a Native American proverb that says, "We don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children." The second one is from Jacques Cousteau, and he said, "For most of history, man has had to fight nature to survive. In this century, he's beginning to realize that in order to survive, he must protect it." And lastly, the author of this quote, I believe you'll recognize by about halfway through the quote. And the quote is this: "Preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known." It's by Carl Sagan. Thank you. Please know how much we miss all of you. We miss getting together out here at our properties like Cienega Canyon. So many of you are volunteers. So many of you commit your time and your resources and your donations, so we appreciate you. We miss you. We hope to get together soon out here in the earth and the dirt and in planting and protecting and caring for these open spaces. I'm going to close with three more quotes that really touched me. I like these a lot, so I'm going to share them with you. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, and I think you'll love this, I had never heard it before, "The earth laughs in flowers." Behind me are some thistles that are in the drier times of their lives. They're normally this bright purple color is beautiful. So you have to check those out at another time, online perhaps, or in person. Marie Curie said, "All my life through, the new sights of nature made me rejoice like a child." And to round it out, I'll finish with this quote by Jane Austen. "To sit in the shade on a fine day and look upon verdure is the most perfect refreshment." Enjoy. Thanks for joining us tonight. And upcoming is a great video that will show you a little bit of what we do at Rivers and Lands Conservancy all the time. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephen Osborne. I'm a board member and I'm native to Riverside. Many years ago, I had the good fortune of doing a project when I was a student at UC Riverside. I did a project with the Rivers and Lands Conservancy looking at vegetation densities at Santa Rosa Plateau. That experience, in part, led me to want to go to graduate school, go on to get a PhD, and now I'm a professor at Cal Poly Pomona, though I still live here in Riverside. This organization does great work and has great people in it, and I'm very fortunate and honored to be able to contribute my expertise and time in support of its mission.
Hi, my name is Patricia Lock-Dawson, and I have been a Rivers and Lands Conservancy board member since 1998. As a former park ranger and a mom of 3 children, I care deeply about the environment and I care deeply about conservation. I want my kids and my grandkids to know and experience the natural world in a way that I was able to. And I know I can trust Rivers and Lands Conservancy to conserve the properties that my children will be able to enjoy and do it well and do it responsibly. So I thank you for your support of our beautiful organization and hope you enjoy the program.
Hi, my name is Dusty Williams, and I'm the Vice President of RLC, the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. Hopefully the reason you are watching this video is because you love Inland SoCal and you want to understand what you can do to preserve the natural world surrounding us and even expand and improve upon it. How do you do that as an individual? My suggestion is to team up with others with a similar goal. That's exactly why I joined the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. And you don't have to be a board member to make a difference, although we are always looking for good new board members. You can make a huge impact just by contributing to the RLC. A little time and treasure from each of us, when combined, will go a long way. At RLC, we are the caretakers of Southern California's natural, wild, and open spaces. Please join us in that endeavor. Thank you.
My name is Jane Block, and I was one of the founding members of the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. We found that after people had been required to dedicate open space, they were having trouble finding any agency to take that open space, which particularly when it was for connectivity of the wildlife. And so it was a very important function that the Land Conservancy has filled in that regard. And the reason that I think the Land Conservancy is so valuable is that it teaches people to enjoy and treasure our nature and our natural and the animals that live in nature, and it gives people a relief from the pressures of our current very busy world.
Good evening. I'm Jack Easton, Executive Director of Rivers and Lands Conservancy. Thank you all for attending Rivers and Lands Conservancy's first ever virtual gala, and thank you for your support of our mission. As I'm sure many of you know, the mission of Rivers and Lands Conservancy is to connect our community to natural, wild, and open spaces of Southern California through land conservation, stewardship, and education. Here we are, 7 months into the pandemic. Rivers and Lands Conservancy has had some difficulty. We're a little battered, a little bruised, but we are still here and still saving land. In the past 12 months, we have acquired 4 properties, which together cover just over 100 acres. One of those properties is so important for conservation that the Wildlife Conservation Board granted $6 million to Rivers and Lands Conservancy to purchase the land. That's the Baruchan property. You'll see more of it shortly. The other 3 properties were acquired as conservation easements. Those properties are located in Colton, the Jurupa Hills, and Temecula. The conservation of these 4 properties brings our total holdings to 60 properties and over 2,600 acres in 4 counties of Southern California. In the past several months, we've focused on strengthening our organization. We completed an organizational assessment. We've added additional committees at the board level. We are refining our process for recruiting new board members and developing leaders within the organization. We have learned that we can hold effective meetings remotely. We can work remotely. We can put on a gala remotely. We learned that we can do many things remotely, but we must all still get out there on the land. None of us can do without that, including me. So, let's get out there. Sand dunes, right here in the Inland Empire. I'm in South Colton at the Baruchan property. This is the 34-acre property that Rivers and Lands Conservancy purchased with the grant from the Wildlife Conservation Board to conserve these sand dunes and the native species who inhabit them. Not long ago, there was over 40 square miles of this unique habitat. Today, only a sliver of the dunes remain, and only a portion of that is protected for its natural value. By protecting these lands, we are preserving habitat of the endangered Delhi Sands flower-loving fly. Also, we are building a program around these lands to educate and involve school kids and volunteers with stewardship of the dunes. The goal of this program is to instill a sense of pride for a small fly, actually a big fly, and for a habitat that is unique to this community. This is our Cienega Canyon Preserve, 350 acres in the heart of San Timoteo Canyon. This is such a beautiful property. Besides this majestic oak woodland, there's a year-round stream with a dense thicket of willows, cottonwood, and sycamore. There's chaparral and coastal sage scrub and native grassland. This is a special place full of history and natural wonders. It's here that we bring students to our Acorns to Oaks program to teach them about ecology and inspire them to appreciate nature and to show them how they can each contribute to conservation. The acorns are maturing right now and dropping from the trees. Normally, we'd be out here this month with students to collect acorns, but with the pandemic, our staff will gather the acorns and provide them to the students as part of a kit to grow their own oak. We will do the rest of our Acorns to Oaks program virtually this year, and we will reach 340 ninth grade students at Banning High School. Well, that was great. You've had a glimpse of just 2 of our 60 conservation properties and heard briefly about 2 of our programs to build community engagement through outreach and education. To learn more about Rivers and Lands Conservancy and our programs, please follow us on social media, Facebook or Instagram. Visit our website. Read our monthly e-newsletter. Many of you already received the newsletter, and those of you who don't, we'll add you to the list. The next newsletter will come out in early November. Please watch for it in your inbox. The board and staff of Rivers and Lands Conservancy are optimistic about the future. We are conserving more property, including easements to preserve agricultural land, an often overlooked but nonetheless important part of the open space landscape in our region. We have formulated a plan for how to safely resume volunteer events during the pandemic. You'll see more about that soon on our website and in the newsletter. And we look forward to, in fact, we depend on the continued support from you, the members of our community who share our commitment to land conservation and stewardship. Together, we can build support and appreciation for that land through community engagement. Please participate and support us in any way you can, and go out there and enjoy our beautiful open spaces. Here's a short poem by Kathy Parenteau. Life on Earth is truly a gift. Every moment we must treasure. It's the simple things we take for granted that become our ultimate pleasures.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, fellow board members. Those were some just lovely videos and pieces of great information to share with all the folks this evening and folks that may join later and take a peek at what we're doing here at Rivers and Lands through this annual gala via virtual video. Time and treasures, something that my fellow board member, Vice President Dusty said, and it's funny, I can't believe in my many years working for public agencies and private organizations and with nonprofits that I've not heard that phrase, and I really like it, time and treasures. You know, giving of ourselves is exactly that, of our time and our treasures. I'd like to ask that you please consider joining us, whether as a volunteer, as a member, as a sponsor, all 3, whatever works for you. Think about our organization, join us. Hopefully we'll get back out there in the earth, as both Jack and I have touched on throughout the video and throughout the evening tonight. But I do want to say thank you, and thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being with us. We have a tremendous core of volunteers that give of their time, and we have a video that will show you some of that upcoming next, right after a few more board member videos. So continue to sit back and enjoy and check out some of my fellow board members.
Hi there, I'm Alfred Javier, Rivers and Lands Conservancy board member for just a year. As one of the newest board members, I am wide-eyed and bushy-tailed at all that Rivers and Lands Conservancy does. Land conservation is a big portion of this effort and is in line with what I see as needed. That is to protect and preserve our natural resources, the wildlife, its habitat, as well as the general open space. I hope you are eager in joining us in the continuing efforts of Rivers and Lands Conservancy, and I hope to meet you one day. See you soon.
Hello, Mike Linton, both member and board member of the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. As a card-carrying member of the Conservancy, I've been privileged over the last 10 years to participate in the habitat conservation that has occurred within the watersheds and communities that we serve. As a board member, it's been very exciting to participate in the growth and strategic direction of our conservation efforts as they expand into the future. I look forward to working with all of you.
Hi, my name is Fortino Morales. I'm a board member with the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. And I just want to take a moment first to acknowledge the land in which we're on right now. As the native peoples of Cahuilla, Tongva, and Luiseño originally called this home, still do. And I'm specifically on what's now called Pachapa Hill, one of the properties of the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. Originally, Pachapa Hill was actually what is now considered Mount Rubidoux. I think it's little things like that and understanding more about the land and the history that has drawn me to be a part of the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. The other part is on my back. I think part of the mission of the Land Conservancy is really about preserving land for future generations and preserving open space for everybody to enjoy. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a part of it. I'm happy to be a part of it. Say hi.
Fortino's 100% right. What we do, we're doing for successive generations. We're doing it for our kids, for our grandkids, and for generations after that. And each one of our board members has their own special reason for their commitment to Rivers and Lands Conservancy. And we are very fortunate to have so many board members, so many great board members, and each of them serve in that capacity as a volunteer. And there's many ways that all of you could participate in Rivers and Lands Conservancy's programs. You can learn about our programs through social media. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can visit our website, and you can join us at upcoming events. You can volunteer to help us conserve and restore the lands that we steward. So please consider joining us at a program or find another way, any way that's meaningful to you to help us with our mission. Pardon me. Here's a video about some volunteer activities that Rivers and Lands Conservancy has engaged in recently.
I'm Dennis Charbonneau, and I'm a land steward at the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. I'm here at a restoration site in Fontana, which is one of many properties that our organization manages in Southern California. We currently conserve over 2,600 acres of wild and open space habitat, and we could use all the help we can get. Our conservation projects rely heavily on community involvement and participation from volunteers like you. Join us outside for one of our volunteer events and help with a variety of tasks like
seed collection,
planting, 1, 2, 3, watering,
weeding, trash removal, To keep up with information about our upcoming events, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Also, make sure to check out our website and sign up for our email newsletter. We hope to see you at one of our events soon.
Well, despite the technical difficulties, you got to see that great video of our land stewards out in the field doing what they love to do most, which is stewarding the land. And we hope that you will join us out on those properties. We really have some great properties and could certainly use your help on them. And we're nearing the end of the program. There's a little bit more here, but I want to thank you for your time this evening. And I'm sure that you're inspired by the many treasures that you've seen and heard about during the program. And this includes not just the lands that we steward or the plants and animals that inhabit them, but also our dedicated board members and our committed staff. And so I would just ask you to please support us, tell your friends about us, and donate whatever you can to help us. We need you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. And we truly are coming to the end of our time with you this evening. So we'd like to close out our first ever virtual gala, 7th annual, for the Rivers and Lands Conservancy with a toast together. So you've got some nosh. Hopefully you've cooked that up and you've been enjoying it as we've gone along, and grab your beverage of choice. That could be the wine from Vulcan. It could be the beer from Wix, the soda from your fridge, or water from the earth. Jack's got the water. So raise your glass, please, with me. Are you all ready? So for those of you out there that we cannot be with in person tonight, thank you. We appreciate you. Here's to natural, wild, and open spaces and continuing to protect them, to you for making a difference, and to the Rivers and Lands Conservancy. Good night.